Ever stumbled upon terms like cryptocurrencies and NFTs but didn't know what they all mean? In this video, we'll explain what digital assets are and cover different types such as crypto, NFTs, stablecoins, and RWAs. So, what exactly are digital assets? A digital asset is any digital item with value, ownership, and discoverability. For something to qualify as a digital asset, it must meet four criteria. 1, the item must be digital. 2, the item must have value. 3, the item must be capable of discoverability. And 4, the item must be capable of ownership. Digital and value are relatively straightforward. Digital means the item exists as data within a computer system rather than as a physical object. Value refers to some level of economic benefit or desirability. Discoverability and ownership, however, require a bit more explanation. Starting with ownership in the physical world, an asset doesn't lose its status simply because it lacks an active owner. For example, a home, even if abandoned, remains an asset and still has the ability to be owned. The same idea applies in the digital world. A software product key for something like Microsoft Windows doesn't stop being a digital asset just because it's misplaced or unused. Even if it isn't currently activated, it still has the capacity to be owned. However, in digital systems, ownership depends on discoverability being satisfied first. In the physical world, discoverability is often implicit. If you tell me you own a home and I visit the address, it's generally implied the property you occupy is the one you own. In contrast, discoverability in digital systems must be explicit. The system needs a way to identify and locate the asset. For example, a Windows product key must be verified by Microsoft servers before the license can be validated. Those servers act as the system that tracks and confirms ownership. This distinction becomes clearer when discoverability breaks down. Consider in-game items from always online video games where the developer has shut down the servers. While the items are still digital and may have value, they can no longer be identified or located within any system. Without discoverability, ownership can't be established or maintained, meaning they no longer meet the full criteria of a digital asset. In digital systems, discoverability is what makes ownership possible. With that foundation in place, let's look at an asset hierarchy and explore where digital assets like Bitcoin, stablecoins, and NFTs fit. For this video, I'll use two main categories to group assets: tangible assets and intangible assets. A tangible asset is an asset with exchange value in a physical form. These are assets you can touch. Examples include land, a home, or a vehicle. On the other hand, an intangible asset is an asset that is not physical in nature. These assets are assets you cannot touch. Examples include a person's reputation, intellectual property such as patents and copyrights, and, of course, digital assets. Digital assets primarily fall into three categories: software digital assets, media digital assets, and network digital assets. Some examples of software digital assets include source code for applications such as Microsoft Word or Adobe Photoshop. Other examples are proprietary algorithms used in AI models developed by OpenAI or Anthropic, and customer databases from companies like Google or Amazon. Media digital assets include images like trademarked logos or copyrighted characters. Examples also include video content like TV shows or movies, and audio content like music or audiobooks. Network digital assets fall into two categories: closed network and open network. The difference between closed network and open network digital assets is that closed network assets' creation, transfer, and use are restricted to a network governed by a specific organization or platform, whereas open network assets exist on public networks where ownership and transfer are governed by publicly accessible protocols. Examples of closed networks and assets include video games like Minecraft or Roblox, where in-game currency can only be used within the game. Brand credits like gift cards or loyalty points, which are redeemable only within specific retailers, and private blockchains like JP Morgan's Connexus or Ripple Private Ledger, where assets stay within those closed systems. Open network digital assets are the focus here on the channel. Bitcoin, NFTs, stablecoins, and RWAs fall into this category. Open network digital assets are special because they typically rely on a technology called blockchain. For the purposes of this video, just know that a blockchain is a type of database where tokens are stored. These tokens on the blockchain fall into two categories: fungible and non-fungible. Something is fungible when it is capable of mutual substitution, i.e., interchangeability. You could have a US dollar in your pocket, and I could have a US dollar in my pocket. If we traded the physical US dollars, we would still each have a US dollar. They are the same unit of account, a US dollar. Items such as currency are considered fungible. Non-fungible is the opposite of fungible, not interchangeable or without interchangeability. The Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci is a one-of-a-kind painting. We won't get into the weeds about multiple original versions. The point still stands. The same goes for The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. If you tried to trade these, it wouldn't be a simple one-to-one exchange. Each has unique characteristics like the artist, color palette, and size. Items such as paintings are considered non-fungible. With that in mind, let's talk about the different types of open network digital assets. Cryptocurrency tokens such as Bitcoin, BTC, Ethereum, ETH, Ripple XRP, and Solana Sol are considered fungible tokens. While they're often thought of as magic internet money, different tokens serve different purposes. When the Bitcoin network first launched, it was intended to function as a peer-to-peer payment system. Today, Bitcoin is more commonly used as a store of value and a hedge against inflation. The Ethereum network takes things further. Ethereum enables value transfer while also allowing users to interact with smart contracts, something Bitcoin doesn't natively support. Stablecoins, another type of cryptocurrency token, are primarily geared toward payments and price stability. Because Bitcoin's value can fluctuate significantly, it hasn't seen widespread adoption for everyday transactions. Stablecoins emerged as an attempt to address this by offering a more consistent price, typically by tracking government-issued currencies like the US dollar. They are also considered fungible tokens. Common examples include Tether USDT, Circle USDC, PayPal PYUSD, and Ripple RLUSD. NFTs gained significant attention in 2021 and 2022. Although they exist on blockchain networks, they are not cryptocurrencies. They are often grouped together because they rely on similar underlying technology. NFT stands for non-fungible token, meaning each token is unique and not interchangeable. Examples include digital art and collectibles, though NFTs can also be used for such things as event tickets, voting, and tokenized real-world assets, also known as RWAs. RWAs are notable because they can exist as either fungible or non-fungible tokens. Tokenization brings real-world assets onto the blockchain, allowing them to be owned, transferred, and utilized in digital systems. Examples of fungible RWA tokens include Tether Gold XAUT and Pax Gold Pax G, both of which track the price of gold. Examples of non-fungible RWA tokens include tokenized real estate deeds and tokenized vehicle titles. Real-world assets are moving on-chain. Your money is moving on-chain too. The financial system is changing, but why is it happening through digital assets? Watch this video next to learn why digital assets exist and why they matter for the future of your money.